fighting out of the red corner, wearing red and weighing in officially at 135 pounds. His professional record, 32 victories, including 24 knockouts with only 2 defeats and a draw. Originally from El Paso, Texas, now training and fighting out of Sacramento, California, he is Juan, the Hispanic calls-in Panic Lazcano. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue and officially weighing in at 135 pounds also. His professional record, 35 victories, including 70 knockouts, with only 2 defeats and 1 bout even. From the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, the former 2-time lightweight champion of the world, Stevie Little Butt Bear Johnston.
Kenny Bayless will be stepping in with final instructions for the fighters. There's a good overhead shot of the ring here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. We'll listen in.
Okay, gentlemen. We got very wide waistbands here. Punch thrown in here is considered a clean punch. Punch thrown in here is considered a clean punch. Now, gentlemen, we know the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep the fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, touch gloves.
Well, here we go. Rich Murata scheduled for 12.
Stevie Johnston has already been to the top of the mountain. He's been a world champion twice. Juan Lazcano looking to get where Stevie has been.
As we said at the top of the telecast, he's been winning a lot. 18 fights, Lazcano.
Lazcano very broad-shouldered. Certainly would be considered a good boxer puncher. Has power, 24 KOs in his 32 victories. Stevie is considered more of a pure boxer, not really a big puncher. Most of his most important fights have gone the distance.
He's got a knockout percentage of 44% in his career. His average bout goes about almost 8 rounds in there. In a fight of this magnitude, it's hard to say what's going to happen in terms of going the distance or not. He can go either way. Of course, as you see, he's a southpaw, flicking the jab out there against Lazcano. Lazcano's in the red trunks, solid red trunks, and Johnston's in the blue trunks with the white trim.
I was in Paris the night that Stevie Johnston won the championship. He beat a very good champion, Jean-Baptiste Mende. And it was a difficult situation because he was facing a very hostile crowd. He had very few people rooting, although he did have his family there rooting for him.
Nice right hand from Lazcano, right on the button, out of nowhere.
Clean knockdown, although Stevie Johnston was a little bit off balance, but nonetheless, a legit knockdown.
Stevie was just dancing, and then Powell, right over the top of his gloves, a clean shot. Lazcano looking to clean up a little bit here in the first round. Oh, he gets countered right there. 1-2 from Johnston. You can't finish him off in the first round like that.
You can't get too reckless, certainly, because Johnston is very much a professional. And I was just recounting the difficult situation that he won the championship in, and he finds himself in a difficult situation here now in round 1.
That was in Paris, as you mentioned, in 1997. So he's been in tough situations, fought some very tough fighters in this division. Lost the title to Bazan, Cesar Bazan. Fought his way back. So he's good right hand. So Stevie apparently showing no ill effects, just a flash knockdown, Rich, that sort of took us by surprise in the first round.
Yeah, it took Stevie by surprise. As I mentioned, I think he was a little off balance. The punch caught him high in the head, but the punch was there. And you know, so if you land a punch and you go down, that is a knockdown. That's going to get Lazcano off to a nice early lead now in the fight.
Under a half a minute, round 1. And as you said, that will put Johnston down a couple of points, probably. Another good flashing right hand from Lazcano.
Of course, you know, conventional wisdom is if you land that straight right against the southpaw, and if you look at Lazcano, he looks like he's squared up to Johnston. Very broad-shouldered Lazcano is, and he's squared. There's a lot of body there that he's showing to Johnston, but he did land that right hand.
He's got work to do. Round 2 scheduled for 12. Juan Lazcano's in the red trunks. Stevie Johnston out of Denver is in the blue trunks with the white trim. Johnston's got some work to do now because he was knocked down in the first round, and Lazcano very wisely looked like he was trying to test him, and he found out that Stevie wasn't exactly hurt, so he had to back off a little bit.
Well, we have seen, though, that it does appear as though Juan is looking for that right hand, looking for that straight right.
And they told Stevie to move a little bit more. He just got caught flat-footed there.
And he comes out a little busier, Alan.
Yeah, he was digging to the body toward the end of round 1. Pretty good combination inside there. He's giving up a few inches in height, so he has to work more toward the body and inside.
I'll never forget the sense of shock the night that Stevie Johnston lost the championship to Jose Luis. Sight. Nice punch there, a good right hand by Stevie Johnston. He was expected to take care of Castillo with no problem. Castillo was basically unknown at the time. And it was absolutely stunning.
That actually happened as he drives Lazcano toward the ropes. That actually happened today as an afternoon fight of the Shane Mosley, Oscar De La Hoya first fight at Staples Center. And like you said, the reason Stevie came out was because all the media was there to cover De La Hoya and Mosley, and then he gets dropped. And then they went to Denver for the rematch, and that one ended up a draw. So Stevie had his problems with Castillo. Castillo came out of nowhere, but he was a very excellent fighter with great training. We didn't know much about it. Stevie up against the ropes, quickly steps out. It's not where he wants to be. Warning from Kenny Bayless.
He doesn't have to be so demonstrative with Juan. Juan speaks perfect English. Another low blow though by Lazcano right there.
Don't do it again.
Well, that's the stern warning. That's loud and clear. Oh, left hand. Stevie Johnston just dropped Juan Lazcano with a left hand.
Well, now they both tasted the canvas.
6.
We're even now.
I think the last thing that most people expected that both these guys would be down before 2 rounds were over. They're coming into this fight.
Oh, we love this kind of action. This fight crowd here tonight's going to see some things they'll never forget.
Well, I guarantee you we've got a dead even fight on all 3 scorecards after 2 rounds.
He got a little too cautious in there in round 2, so now they both know this dead even as we go to round 3. To repeat, Stevie Johnston's in the blue trunks with the white trim. Juan Lazcano, the Hispanic causing panic, is in the red trunks. Scheduled for 12, an elimination bout in the WBC. Winner moves on to face Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Each of these 2 fighters has fought this year, and each fought right about the same time, just about 6 months ago in February. Lazcano won a technical decision over Danny Rios, and Stevie Johnston won a victory by KO over Ever Boleno, a pretty good fighter, and he knocked down Boleno in the 2nd, again in the 6th, and knocked him out. So that was a good win for Stevie, certainly. So they're both coming in, you know, off of wins. And the fight just means really a lot to both of them.
Stevie is a 2-time world champion, trying to climb back up the ladder once again. He just got caught with a left hand across the chin, but he counters with the uppercut and working the body and tries to come straight at him. Now Stevie's trading with Lazcano right in the middle of the ring, which Lazcano probably loves.
Sure he does. I think he has a little harder punch. Lazcano would like that, and I think Lazcano, we've seen the style of the fight pretty well established here, I think, Alan, and Lazcano's looking for big blows. He's going to be pressing forward and looking for the straight right hand. Stevie Johnston is looking to out-hustle Lazcano tonight, to just by sheer volume of punches, higher volume of punches, to be able to outpoint Lazcano tonight.
Lazcano has a lot of respect for that left hand after getting caught by that chopping, flashing left hand. He was standing right in front of Johnston in the 2nd round when it landed. Stevie has the ability to be very accurate and very quick. There's a left hand again that got past the gloves and moved Lazcano back. Not apparently too hurt by it, but he did feel it.
Freddie Roach told Lazcano, forget that right uppercut right now. Go for straight rights. He wants the straight right against the southpaw here.
That is the textbook way to go about it. And he's also punching down on Johnston a little bit.
And also, when you get a right-hander against a left-hander here, the conventional wisdom is that the guy who can establish his foot on the outside would be at an advantage. So Lazcano trying to do that, keep that foot of his outside of the foot of Johnston, which you see he's doing there, and then throw the straight right hand.
Working off a very wide stance, Lazcano is trying to keep that foot position to where he wants it to be. As you said, just look at Stevie. That's his typical game plan. Just be more aggressive, quick, work harder. And
he's giving Lazcano some angles, moving around in there. There you see just an example of that.
Excellent movement, throwing the jab or the left hand, straight left hand off the footwork. Lazcano's got him up against the ropes now, and Stevie's moving the head effectively right at the end of round 3. A very even round, round 3.
Real good round. Tough one to come for him, like he's a rock star.
Round 4 scheduled for 12. WBC lightweight eliminator here from Las Vegas. Stevie Johnston just complaining about another low blow, and Kenny Bayless.
Now, Stevie, that was a stupid move by Stevie. He's got to protect himself at all times. He put his hands down there to talk to Bayless, and Lazcano, it would have been within his rights to just go ahead and fire a punch.
Lazcano trying to dig into the body. Stevie Johnston countering off the ropes. Lazcano going downstairs again.
Johnson has to move off of those
Good
ropes.
left hand from Johnston. He needs to move better. He was moving quite well in round 3, but right now I got the rope-a-dope going.
See, Lazcano's getting it at the distance he wants with Johnston back against the ropes. That's how he wanted to trap him. Here's a good move by Stevie. He turned it right around.
Yep, stepped around it. A lot of punches being thrown.
Interesting match here, chess match. And sometimes when you say chess match, it means a boring match. This is very interesting, quite exciting. There's a lot of punches being thrown. But when I say chess match, each guy trying to implement his strategy out.
Exactly, and they've turned up the volume here, Rich. They have turned it up in round 4. Stevie willing to absorb more punches than perhaps he should. He's gotten away from the head movement and is just looking to land some punches, and Lazcano's loving this stuff because he's got him right in range. That was almost a low blow from Stevie. Remember, Lazcano has been warned twice by Kenny Bayless about low blows, but when you get in these scrums like this, the punches can land pretty much anywhere. It's almost a reflex action. They are really throwing punches.
Lazcano's last loss was 5 years ago to Golden Johnson. He just said that changed everything for him. He's actually thankfully told me the other day that he suffered that loss because it made him put his whole career into focus and made him realize really what he has to do in order to be successful. Blessing in disguise.
He's got to get past a big challenge tonight. Off the counter, Johnson looked good, but Lazcano's just digging in and throwing punches wherever he sees an opportunity. I like the way he's been working downstairs a little bit, Rich, because that's going to open him up a little bit to drop the hands perhaps and get that right hand over the top. That's a pretty good left that just landed.
I agree with you. I think from a Lazcano standpoint, I think it would be better if he doesn't necessarily fight this close. I thought when he had Johnston up against the ropes earlier in the round and he kept him off at the distance, he really had a nice distance for him to fight the fight. He's got some physical advantages he should take advantage of here.
Exactly, and now he's just sort of throwing, and toward the end of round 4, another difficult round to score. And as Rich Murata pointed out, I think a majority of these rounds, if nobody's knocked down, will be difficult to score because of these two styles. But at least we know what we have in there. As we drop his hands, and then Lazcano wants to come over the top. And they want him to stick and go, or stick and move, and to land his punches, which Johnston does best. He can move on the run. He can move and throw punches.
Right, hit and move. Don't hit and stand there admiring your work.
Round 5, Johnston's in the blue trunks, Lazcano in the red trunks.
Johnston does have a tendency to swell up, though, so this is no surprise. And again, it's not anything that he has not been through in previous fights.
Big looping left hand that was just sort of thrown to be thrown, no abject purpose whatsoever. So Lazcano's doing the same thing he did in the 4th round, trying to find a range that he's comfortable with. Opening seconds of this round, and Johnston's moving a little bit better.
All right, keep him up, Stevie. You keep him up now.
Now Bayless tells Steve to keep him up. Almost got caught by left hand there. Right hand gets in from Johnston.
Johnston's at his best when he's in there busy. And that's what he's doing. He's landing. There you saw the hit and then the move right after it. A little bit of a pivot. Give him angles. That's what he's trying to do.
Lazcano doesn't really have that much use for backing a guy with a jab, does he? He wants that right hand is what he's looking to load every time. He flicks it pretty good, but it's not his most effective weapon.
And of course, sometimes when you have immediate success the way that he did with that punch, then you begin to look for it even a little bit more, Alan.
Exactly. Round 5, halfway gone. This is going to be a tough one if it keeps up like this to score, that is for sure.
Well, I was really excited when I saw this fight was going to be on the De La Hoya Mosley card. You know, I thought, man, this is a terrific matchup between two very well-schooled fighters.
A lot of respect for one another, as they should have.
Boxing purists love this fight.
Nice combination from Johnston. I think he stepped it up a little bit fighting his fight in this round more than any we've seen. Of course, to remind the viewers, we do have one knockdown per fighter. Now Lazcano gets aggressive and backs Johnston up off the ropes, but he quickly turns it around, and we head back.
Stop! Let him up!
You know, when I saw that knockdown in the first round, the thing that kind of flashed through my head was, uh-oh, are Stevie Johnston's legs gone? You know,
yeah.
As we mentioned, he's 30 years old. Not old, really, but been through a lot of tough fights. And so that's the first thing you begin to think about. But he's looked okay since then in terms of his legs, and he's moving around that ring very well, and his legs look strong.
This is perhaps his best round, except for the knockdown. And secondly, knocked him down with that short left hand. Final seconds, round 5. You got this thing 1 point away right now. Kenny Bayless steps in. Stevie looking over at Lazcano saying, you know, stop at the bell. Card there.
Yeah. They're throwing lots of punches, and a lot of them are landing. And I would have guessed that maybe Johnston had a little edge in punches, but that's the actual number of punches, 263 for each guy.
Each guy. Round 6, scheduled for 12. You heard Freddie Roach saying step to the outside. He wants to see him throw that hook and dig it in. I thought the body work would have been what he would go with, but maybe he's a little bit confused right now as to what he really wants to do with Johnston.
Roach was gone from the training camp of Lazcano for a couple of weeks because he was up in Germany working with Vladimir Klitschko to get Klitschko ready for his comeback fight, which Klitschko won. And then he came back and was back in camp with Lazcano for the last 2 weeks prior to the fight.
An excellent trainer. Johnston is trying to do what he does best, to move and stay away from harm's way if he can. Sooner or later, they're going to have to engage, though.
Seeing a little upper body side-to-side movement from Lazcano in this round. Johnston looks comfortable boxing in the style that he is right now, though. Looks to me like he's kind of saying, you know, I did pretty good last round. I think this is what I'm going to do.
This is exactly what I thought. He was settling into this type of style and movement and footwork. And Lazcano's going to get to the point, and we've seen this before, he might just run right over him if he can't catch up with him. Because it gets frustrating. But Stevie working off the feet, bouncing up and down, trying to score points.
You look at him here and you think, was he really that tired between rounds? Didn't he look tired? Was he sucking wind the way that he was between the rounds?
Final minute, round 6. So much riding on this fight for both men. Turning point. It's what this sport is all about. You work hard and get to a point you climb up the hill and try to knock the other guy off. Sometimes you get knocked back down. You have to go back up again like Johnston.
Johnston, very difficult to defeat. Even his 2 losses, very close. Cesar Bazan, Jose Luis Castillo, disputed decisions. Tough guy to defeat.
And he's not going to give you anything. You're going to have to earn everything in there with him. And Lazcano likes this. He's finally got him in range, in sight. He can dig in a little bit on the hip there.
Just don't know why Johnston would land those ropes like that. Apparently he's confident he can make Lazcano miss and counter, but I think he does a lot better when he's out in ring center.
Well, like you said, he might have needed a little breather too. We'll see. We'll check him out between rounds. This one coming up on halfway done if they go the distance tonight. And how difficult he is to beat. If you look at some of his big fights, the majority decision in the loss to Jose Luis Castillo, then it was a majority draw. There's split decisions when he won the title against Jean-Baptiste Mendy. 2 split decisions against Bazan. So it's always like that with this guy.
Yeah, and he seems to, you're right, he engages in close fights. He normally does just enough to beat you.
Just enough, and he knows what that just enough is. And his corner saying Lazcano doesn't have the footwork to keep up with you. Lazcano's just trying to get in there and land the punches and catch up with him a little bit. Let's see if it's round 7. He's got a long way to go to be bouncing up and down for the last 5 rounds, though, Rich. I mean, that's going to be a lot of work in there for Stevie Johnston.
Yes, but
there he is on the ropes where he shouldn't be.
This is just a good, see, Lazcano can really load up here. He takes that shoulder and he pushes Johnston back into the ropes and then tries to catch him coming off of him.
He had one punch just south of Mendoza line there that wasn't called. I guess because it wasn't hard enough. There's another one right on the belt line.
I have this a dead even fight through 6 rounds.
I'm not surprised. Now, I don't know why he would be over there in that position unless he's just a little bit tired and wants to sit there and trade. But Lazcano can dig in here. Lazcano's in the red trunks. Remind everybody once again. Has won 18 fights in a row to get to this point.
And beaten some good fighters along the way. John Molina had a controversial decision win over Jesse James Leija. Admittedly, a lot of people thought Leija deserved the decision in that one, but nonetheless, Lazcano did get it.
Well, Leija was cut, of course. And because Leija is one of the problems he has is he does cut a lot. So that was back in 2000, that fight, 3 years ago. This is one of those grind them out fights, Rich. I mean, it's just, this is going to be work from beginning to end.
Yeah, again, tight rounds, too. This is very close. And it's like, who can maybe land one big, real good combination to catch the eye of the judges?
Stevie content to try to throw some uppercuts in there. Almost had a clash of heads. That's what I worry about. And you got the southpaw and the right-hander in there. Each trying to establish position. Rich was pointing out, they keep telling Lazcano to try to stay to the outside. I haven't seen that hook that they were calling for yet, though, from Johnston. Round 8 from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. A very important fight taking place here for the careers of both of these men. Stevie Johnston seeking a 3rd world title. Juan Lazcano has been working and working hard for many years now. And here he is on the undercard of one of the biggest matchups this town's ever seen, actually. The arena's already beginning to fill up. For probably an hour and a half or more. A little bit more until De La Hoya and Mosley step in. But Lazcano and Johnston could care less right now. They've got their work cut out for them. Now we're getting down to nitty-gritty here, Rich. I mean, we're in the 8th round. Tons of punches being thrown. Johnston's gone back to some movement.
Johnston just can't back off like that. He let Lazcano take the offensive, and Lazcano trying to build now some momentum.
Good left hand to jab. He doubled up on his jab. I think some right hands got in there.
Johnston just stopped punching this round. He needs to get busy.
He's just laying back there taking the punishment right now, which is exactly what Lazcano dreams about. I'm not understanding this.
It's very possible. Johnston, remember, a veteran, might have the thoughts, you know, he's going to take a round off here.
Well, he's, like you said, we've run down the litany of fights, and he knows exactly what he has to do.
Stop. Let him up.
He might be trying to save it a little bit toward the end and try to steal some rounds.
You know, Juan Lazcano looks like a big lightweight in there, but the truth of the matter is that everyone looks like a big lightweight when they're in the ring with Stevie Johnston.
That's exactly right. Good point.
Lazcano would not be towering over other lightweights.
Stevie getting a little busier now. Looping uppercut from Lazcano that missed. Uppercut from Johnston. Standing right in the corner. Couldn't be more in the corner if he tried. He was getting punched. Lazcano is just unloading, trying to gain some momentum. Now Stevie coming out of the corner. Landed a good left.
That won't be enough to win him the round, though.
No, he took this one off, I believe.
Unless he does something dramatic here in these last 30 seconds. He may be thinking about doing that. A number of fighters have made careers doing that.
Exactly. Final seconds. We'll see what he looks like in the corner. It's hard to tell with Stevie. He's such a professional. He doesn't really give anything away when he fights. Actually, Rich Murata working. That's what we were picking up on. He fought like a tired person in the 8th round. And he said, you got to make him fight all 3 minutes.
All right, now let's see here, Alan, if Johnston comes out with a lot more and did indeed just take a round off, or whether he continues to wilt.
Well, he got chewed out pretty good over there. Chris got on him about you can't make a living on the ropes. Round 9. Taking it to the center of the ring now. We know exactly what Lazcano is going to do if he does wind up on the ropes again. Going to go to the body and the head. Measuring.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Lazcano is doing, and I think that's kind of annoying to Johnston, too, to just have that left hand kind of out there, tapping away.
Stevie landed a pretty good punch there, and once again he landed another one. Lazcano just working. Round 9. Now you can see out here, Lazcano has trouble finding the ring. Oops, slipped.
I think Juan was thinking about it. I think he was thinking, maybe I could just sneak one in here.
Then he would have had to sit down for the rest of the night. Yeah, you can get frustrated chasing a guy around, you know, and want to unload if anything happens. Well, there's good opportunity for Lazcano, but Stevie manages to tie him up. Here in the 9th round, good body punch from Lazcano. You see, Stevie's off the rope, Rich, but I'm not sure he's scoring.
He's busier than he was certainly in the last round, and fighting a better round than he did in the last round. Again, you know, not with a lot of real clean punches.
One or two.
It's a nice body shot by this guy.
That's a good place for him to be. That's what I was about to say. It's a good idea. You know, you remember the classic body punches like Julio Cesar Chavez. He would just take a guy like this with a lot of speed and just chop him down. He would just mercilessly go to the hips and the ribs and just slow him down somehow, impose his fight on the other guy.
Take those legs away.
Little left hand got in there from Lazcano. 30 seconds. Round 9. Johnston fighting his kind of fight in this round.
Very interesting tactical battle here, battle of strategies. I would say, however, that from what I'm seeing here tonight, that each of these guys would have to pick up another notch to be competitive with Floyd Mayweather. With the winner of this fight expected to get an opportunity in the future.
3 left. We're in round 10. If it goes that far, it's scheduled for 12. Stevie Johnston from Denver, Colorado, the blue trunks, and Juan Lazcano, and Hispanic causing panic is his nickname. Did he come up with that himself?
Yeah, he says he did. Yeah, he's had it for a while. I love that. I nearly fell off the chair the first time I heard that. I think it's the best nickname possible. You could take all the, killer and hitman and all. Give me something with a little humor.
Lazcano coming in with bad intentions, and here we go.
Very important.
Took a point. That is very crucial. That could turn the fight around. Rich Murata. Kenny Bayless on his third low blow after 2 warnings took a point away.
And here's the thing now too, Alan. If Johnston, and look at what Johnston tried to build on that. If Johnston wins this round, then you're talking about a 2-point advantage in this round. It'd be like scoring a knockdown.
That's the biggest break of the night for Johnston. His corner was telling me he was losing the fight, and now it's all turned around. If he wins this round, as Rich was pointing out, it'd be a 10-8 round, and then Lazcano, the ball's in his corner. Lazcano is trying to keep the pressure on. That's all that he can do. And Johnston is obliging him on those ropes.
Interestingly enough here, he is not stopping hitting in the body, though, Lazcano. Sometimes you get a little gunshot. You have a point taken away like that, and you think maybe I better just go to the head. But Lazcano is going to the body. Offense is having the point taken away.
Trying to dig in and throw those punches from down low.
Work out. Watch your head, fellas.
Yeah, Kenny Bayless stating the obvious, watch the headbutts. They get in there like that, somebody usually opens something up. Rich Murata's pointing out that Lazcano keeps throwing them right to the stomach and the belt line. That's all he can do, to just keep the pressure, and if Johnston's going to stand there, he's just got to impose pressure. I think Stevie's able to score points, though, on the counter punches.
It's always interesting to see how a fighter reacts, and Lazcano looks to me like he has reacted by not changing up what he was planning to do here at all. And he had the point taken away.
So Stevie Johnston can win this round big. It would be bad to let this opportunity get away, and he's smart enough to know that.
Hold it.
30 seconds, round 10. Good right hand, Stevie Johnston. Lazcano trying to throw the conversation and just stay busy. That's what he wants to do, is stay busy. Oh, there's a good uppercut.
Right hand, Johnston really hurt. Banged his gloves together.
That came from an odd angle, Rich. He doubled up on the right hand.
Now you've got a really weird situation in the story. Lazcano has a great shot.
Estas son las voces de la
To work, emboldened by what he just did.
Looking and dreaming of finishing Stevie off now.
Stevie's been in a lot of wars in his career. Crowd's starting to get into this one. Stevie's trying to stay out of harm's way. He really got tagged. He just got tripped right there.
And that body attack, even for Lazcano, by committing to that body attack in that last round, he may have weakened Johnston to where the combination was there for him.
It was a beautiful combination.
Was it ever?
And the first punch right on the lower part of the rib cage is what got it going. Everything else fell in line like dominoes falling like after that punch. That's what Lazcano had been looking for all night long. And here he is still putting the pressure on. Downstairs, short little uppercuts over the top of the left hook. I'm impressed with Lazcano tonight, Rich. I think he's just done exactly what he has to do.
Looks very good in there. You're seeing how he wins fights. They're not always big margins. But nonetheless, again, the crushing right. And Johnston.
He's got him in trouble a little bit. Yeah, Johnston's in trouble. Uh-oh. Here we go again.
What's he doing?
He's taking a point away. I don't know from what.
Well, apparently, maybe Miguel Diaz, the cut man of Johnston, got in Bayless's mind. Anyway, he's taken 2 points away from Lazcano at this juncture now. And you'd have to think if there was another low blow, it could result in disqualification.
Exactly. Oh, Lazcano, nice combinations up top. Stevie's just taking the punishment now. Lazcano trying to pour it on in the corner. Kenny Bayless looking in. Johnston not reacting. Right hand, down he goes. There goes Johnston. He took a lot of punishment there. Not even the low blows are going to save him.
Fight is over.
The fight is over. The fight is over. Fight is over. Chris Johnston steps in to protect his fighter. gives him a big hug. Look at Juan Lazcano.
The Hispanic causing panic is causing some panic in the lightweight division now. Stevie Johnston was never punched around the ring like that in his career. And Lazcano, you've got to give it to him. Very impressive. Last couple of rounds. Look at him.
It looked like a little Benny Rooster in there. Wow. He says, wow. He's up above press row saying, how about me? You know, Rich, he just imposed his will to, you know, this thing with two points taken away, he could have lost this fight. But he didn't. He never wavered from what he wanted to do.
Again, not discouraged by having the point taken away, just poured it on Johnston. Kenny Bayless was watching there, and again, the right hand sent Johnston down. Those legs finally gave way.
You know, you mentioned at the top of the telecast, Johnston was just 30 years old, but he's been in so many wars, Rich. I thought he was slowing down a little bit, to be honest, from the tapes that I saw. I mean, he's an old 30 from all the distances and the things that happen, and it's kind of a sad sight to see him go down like this tonight, but all the credit in the world to Juan Lazcano, because I think Juan just showed a lot of will and determination.
He showed a lot here tonight. And as I said, if he fought Floyd Mayweather, he'd have to kick it up another notch, but that's not to say that he can't do that.
I know Floyd was watching tonight. We'll be awaiting for the official announcement. Good way to start the card tonight, huh?
Juan Lazcano told me last week, he said, you know, Stevie Johnston has been a really great champion, but he had his time, and now it's my time. He said that's just the natural order of things.
That's the sport we're in here. It's exactly how it goes. But Stevie was hoping to catch lightning in a bottle one more time and climb back up the hill, but he's not going to get that shot anytime soon, or maybe ever. Here's the announcement.
This bout comes to an end at 2 minutes, 18 seconds of round number 11. The winner by TKO victory, and now the #1 ranked WBC contender in the lightweight division, Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lazcano.
There he is up on the ropes. The crowd acknowledging a great performance tonight. I was impressed with his patience, his confidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, the game effort of the former
and do not underestimate what the coaching ability of Freddie Roach has had to do with the success of Juan Lazcano.